This announcement is for the parents. Smoking alcohol is only allowed in the bar area. No, come on, you have 10 minutes of practice. Good luck and good bowling.
Huh? There is no on-off switch, Phil.
There is no? When are we live?
We're up.
Oh, hold on. I didn't have my hat on.
Yeah, we can tell.
No one recognizes me. It's awesome. All right, so what are we talking about?
Actually, nobody even knows what we're doing. Southern Nevada Youth, what is this? Youth Open Youth State Championships, whatever this is called.
Pepsi?
No,
Or is
Pepsi's
it
on the
state?
other side. This is the state one, I think.
Okay.
Pepsi's on the high side.
All right. I just know that our league's not bowling today.
Yeah. Some kids did not know that, and they showed up.
I saw that.
Yeah.
All right,
Sure.
so this is the Nevada State Youth Championship.
Right. Okay.
And they're still bowling on Broadway, B2, right? 37 feet.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a pattern that we put out in practice in the last Las Vegas Youth Bowlers Tour. So pretty tricky at the beginning.
Yeah, definitely.
Then it gets way easier.
What's going to be real tricky is when you've got some of you can go down and look at lane one.
Yeah.
And we've got some of the older kids bowling with some of the littles. So you're going to have a lot of plastic going down there. And we'll see if that works out for the big kids.
It does. You know that.
Yeah,
This pattern breaks down fast because there's no reverse oil. It's single digits, so it breaks down fast. And again, yeah, with those kids throwing plastic and a lot of our kids playing further right, that just makes it easier for our bigger kids.
Yeah.
Two-handers.
There's some things I would have done different about this tournament. Definitely wouldn't have had the littles with the more advanced kids. And I mean, it's cool they get to see some of the better kids and they get to learn from them, but at the same time, you don't want to change could make a difference in how they finish. I don't even know how to word that.
No, I agree. I don't know anything behind the scenes on this, so
No.
I know that they had to move some people around from what I heard, and tonight's tournament, 5 o'clock squad done. They moved it, right, to tomorrow or something?
Yeah, so we had the 5 o'clock squad scheduled for teams. And Devin was on the list. They had him for the 9 o'clock here. Devin was scheduled for Pepsi at 9. 2 of his teammates weren't supposed to come until later in the day. One lives in Lake Las Vegas, one lives in Mountain's Edge, so
Right.
they weren't even going to make it in on time.
So when are they bowling?
I think the team they moved to tomorrow at 1.
Oh, okay.
So we got Pepsi on one side, and then later on we'll come down and do singles and doubles with Gregson.
It's good to see some of our kids that don't bowl tournaments. They're here bowling in this event that'll start them to get going. Our babies. Look at on lane 3. Oh my God, I love that little dude, man. Lane 2. Oh my God. I love him.
A lot of kids from out of town too. It looks like.
Reno kids. Lane 1 right now. Two-hander. Kid's good.
Yeah, he is.
Player. Oh my gosh, how adorable.
Yeah, see, that's where I would have definitely thought that out a little better, and not put the littles with the big ones. But it is what it is. It's just
Yeah. Can't do that. That's all I reminded some of the kids is like, hey, on the fresh, 10 minutes of practice, 5-6 frames, just kind of grind it out, and then all of a sudden things are going to come right to you. And a lot of our Vegas kids, this is awesome. Wow, Coach Henry. Oh, Dan missed a spare. Dan Adcock from Pahrump, Nevada.
this morning I heard him talking. He said that everybody else was playing for second place.
Dan said that?
Yeah.
Ah.
I said, keep that energy all day, man.
He's already got
He's
that
capable.
attitude, huh? He
That's
really
good.
is. There's no one that out-practices him right now in Pahrump.
Really?
Yeah, he practices every day. But sometimes...
Well, he lives in Pahrump. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, that's true. I just keep reminding him, it's like there's a reason why you're practicing. It's not to strike.
It's not to score.
when you can strike throwing one ball, then I want you to move 10 left and throw the exact same ball to be able to hit the pocket. I want you to move 15 right and be able to do the exact same thing.
Ivan?
Dan, your hair's looking good, bro. And then his sister, Liberty's going over to two-handed. She's on lane 7 and 8. Well, these are all of our Vegas kids on 7 and 8.
Yeah. So most. You know what else is going on today, Phil?
Poker tournament with Mike Clements and Paul Enright, yes.
And USA Bowling for youth up at Suncoast right now.
I did not see that advertisement until Edwin Leong shoot me a message last night. I'm like, I had no idea.
I saw the flyer for this one, and then I knew about USA since probably November, December. And
that's some terrible marketing, man.
It was a scheduling snafu, I guess. I don't know.
Who is that tournament run by?
USA Bowling? I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't get it. All right. Rossi he's left his urethane bowling balls at home, two-hander.
But he knew what the pattern was.
Yeah.
I think we told them last week, and the flyer showed last week what the pattern was.
Yeah.
And you're a two-hander. Why are you leaving the house without urethane?
Yeah. Yep.
It's not going to be the move all day, buddy.
You're two-handed, right? Yeah. What should be the most important balls in your bag? Urethane.
It is in my bag, and I forgot it home.
It's in your bag. It's just in the bag that's not here. Good call.
His mom and dad will beat him up.
Well, they got to learn.
You know, that USA thing really upset me.
I mean, that's been on the schedule for months, though. I mean, so.
But how do they not market it to the bowling centers in Las Vegas that have all the leagues? Right? Come to Kathy, come to Samstown, go to Becky at Suncoast.
I mean, Becky had posters. That was all I know. That's the only ones I seen. But at the same time, and I didn't see anything about this tournament until 3 weeks ago. So.
But again, when I always say, let's grow youth bowling, we're doing it. But hold on, I can't say that.
There's other organizations.
There you go.
I tried to share links and email certain pages, and it'll take 2 or 3 days for either the link to get approved or haven't got email replies.
What do I always say
But,
when our kids...
Don't want to bash anybody, but
Right.
it is what it is.
Yep. I always say the same thing when our kids go back east. Dan, perfect example, right? Dan Adcock from Pahrump on lane 6. There's 150 of you there.
Should
They're
be even more
advertising back east. What they do is at a highest level. High school bowling, you can't even walk into a bowling
No.
center.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still have the same thing here, and I can beat that up, but the CCSD, Clark County School District, yeah, I can beat that up because they have the high school math teachers and science teachers coaching a bowling team. They still have that back east, but most of the kids are such at a higher level.
Yeah.
I am seeing some really nice kids here from outside of Las Vegas that throw it really good. So
Yeah.
from the
Started
Reno area.
noticing, too. Saw some practicing yesterday, too. I wish they all had their names, or something like the girl's hair's in the way.
Liberty.
Liberty threw a really good shot there.
What ball is that? What's the weakest ball you have in your bag? Plastic? Throw that. Move 10 right. I don't know. know. Can you hear me? Hope not.
Yeah, a little bit. Not really.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Again, if you don't hit, all he has is bigger bowling balls. I'm like, he's got a mix. So I said, okay, move 10 right. Just needs to do that for 2 or 3 games.
10 right,
You-
pipe it up 5, up 7.
Yeah, two-handed on this pattern. You can play around 10, 9, 8. Just has to, we'll see what it doesn't have surface on it, so we'll see what happens.
Who was the kid last week? We had the kid that started with the new Optimum Idol. Like, that definitely wasn't the ball to start with.
No.
Two-hander. Me and Kevin talked about it. It was like, he should definitely start it with your thing, because he did. His first 2 games were definitely the score reflected what he was throwing.
Yeah.
Then as it opened up, he was able to actually, when he should have been balled up at the time, that's when the ball started working. But
Yeah. Come on, Dan.
let's see who we got on the other side.
Our two-handers on short patterns, unfortunately, it's not like they practice like your sons. They almost have to stay with, for sure, urethane.
Right.
But possibly they have to throw their mix or plastic just for a couple games. This pattern's going to break down, and then they can bounce in a little bit. There you go.
See Lily Howell, let's see where she at. She's on lane 9, let's see.
But the next ball up, my phone is just the one. Didn't count my score. Didn't count my pistol.
Then you got to tell one of the, I don't work here. Oh, yeah. Go find one of the people that work here.
What's wrong?
On G, Rossi,
Uh-huh.
he threw that gutter the first shot, and then a 7 on the second ball. It went gutter, gutter.
I don't think the scoring pace is going to be what it was when we had last week when we bowled on this. We had the kids bowling on this pattern. Definitely going to be a lot lower, I believe.
Ah, Daniel Lilly's daughter.
Yep, the Lily girls, both of them are over there, I think.
Yeah, you got all the Lilies over there. Lily, seriously. You got Lily.
You can't miss their dad having
Yeah.
a duck to walk between doors.
You have to go tell the tournament director, whoever's out here, that they owe you 7
Somebody with a red shirt,
with the red shirt.
the red polo.
Go in their room. Go in their room. Yep, right there. Yep.
And another. Yeah. Let's see how far we can get. Pablo Alpino over there.
Oh, good.
Who's this in the flower shirt? Not sure who.
She's one of our.
Is she one of ours?
Puente. Yep.
Is that Chiston over there too
Annabelle
now?
Puente. Yep. Chiston. Yep. He's taking a shot right now on lane 11. He just turned 10 years old.
Oh. All right, move right.
I don't know. Again,
He did a lot last week.
I have the conversations with his dad.
Uh-huh.
He needs to be throwing plastic for the first 3 games. Two-handed, 10 years old. This is where I just want to.
But this is where they like to see the ball hook, and they don't listen to anybody anyways. They just like to see that big hook.
We saw it. Yeah.
See, that's better.
Yeah.
That's plastic.
I'm gonna stay here. I won't.
You gotta go, coach. Go, coach. I just
Nope.
needed somebody to intro.
No.
I'm gonna. Here in a little bit, I'll be snagging some parents, just random people I don't even know. They tell the kids be comfortable, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. We're gonna do the same thing to the parents today.
Yeah, you got. You know what? You got Mike. Cool.
Yeah, I'll grab him. I'm definitely gonna grab him.
Are they moving any pairs or anything?
For this, no, they're not. Pepsi, they move. This one, they don't.
Oh, okay.
So I was debating on going to the Pepsi side and setting up, but there's like 4 pairs up there or something like that. So I was like, well, you got more kids down here. We'll get them camera. We'll try and get them as much camera time as we can. See a lot of gutter balls.
Yeah, but shouldn't we? The best bowlers in the world on short. The ball has to go toward the gutter. We got to get the ball to hook early, stop. Hook early, slow down. And the only way that we can do that.
I'm also seeing a lot of shiny balls with no surface too.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm not sure. His last name is King. I don't know her name. Let's see what she's gonna do. Good shot.
Yeah. Jenilyn King? Yeah, she throws it pretty good.
See what happens when the ball gets to the gutter? It hooks. So now you're like, okay, your ball speed and everything's real good right there. You say, okay, let's throw a couple more less than mine. Okay, just throw it in the gutter at about 40 feet. Okay, just stay slow. You just need to hang on to this for about 2 minutes until the oil breaks down. Okay, and then you ball out with about 10 left.
Again, all of our kids play so many other sports.
Your team on 2 are the babies, the peewees. So are you guys making a big shout out?
Yeah, he keeps going over there. They're so cute. Like, oh, I love it.
They are so cute.
It makes me want to
So
cry.
we're gonna take a picture of
There's
them
my best friend.
when they're done, and so that we can put out there and say this is the future bowl.
Yep.
But I know you know how to do that.
Yeah. They're adorable. Oh, look, Kathy got in. Kathy's in them.
The best bowling alley manager in Vegas.
Yeah, she does so well for our kids.
She does
you
a
know.
lot.
Gosh, I love her. But yeah, those. Look at. I know you can't see, but lane 1, he's our 4-year-old, 5-year-old,
There he goes.
two-handed. Oh my gosh, he's adorable. Obviously, his dad is one of the better players in Vegas.
Who's that? Whose kid is that?
That's who I want on the microphone.
Not sure who Phil's talking about. Just gonna go grab him.
Camarillo.
Oh, that's Ramon's kid. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Ramon's.
Okay.
Yeah. So adorable. He just struck. I just said, hey, dude, you just made TV. And he just started smiling and high-fiving his mom and dad.
Where's Chloe at then? I know Chloe was here.
She's bowling.
She's doing Pepsi right now?
No, I think she's bowling the USA.
Oh, she's doing USA. Yeah, that's what. Mom was there, and
Yeah, so Dad's over there now with
Yeah.
her. Mom's over here with
okay.
Caden.
Forgot I talked to him about that last night too.
I was hoping we'll get him on the live stream when. Oh, are you guys just doing this today?
I don't know. I mean, I got to be here tomorrow, so
Good shot. When you only have a mix in your bag, two-hander.
and then didn't say anything to anybody till now. At least we could have told him to put 500 on it or something.
Yeah, that's true. But again, if they see that I'm here, even though I didn't have my hat on, no one recognizes me. You know, if I'm here, ask. But again, this kid plays field hockey and all these other sports, so bowling is the last of his thing.
It's one of Brad's kids. I don't know who this one is. Who is that?
Rachel?
On lane 8?
Yeah.
No. There's Kaylin Lilly right here. You know, seeing all these kids, I can tell who coaches who. You know what I mean?
Really?
You know, because, like I said, I mean, you had Lily yesterday when I was watching you coach Lily. Like, about her third or fourth shot, I was like, wow, she looks like Vanessa. And then more and more as I watched, it was like she's starting to look like Vanessa when she bowls. You know? I was like, oh, that's a Phil kid.
Well, but the
Brad
only-
kids, I can tell Brad kids by their setup.
Yeah.
Brad's first, like, and that's awesome. I mean, set up, reset if you need to, but Brad's really good with that fundamental, that setup. I was like, I already know. They don't have to wear a Zentmeyer shirt. I can see Brad's kids.
Yep.
So I can tell all you guys. I can see the difference in Dave's kids and yours and everybody else. Oh, is he out there again?
After he throws the ball, he posts a shot.
Start good habits early,
I
right?
think he's like 5. And Coach Henry, Gia, she's only like 11 years old. She's a great basketball player.
Who's 11?
She's only, Gia is 11.
The one that just bowled on lane 7?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Hey, Brad. Hey, Brad. Is Gia 11 or 12?
Sure. Is Gia 11 or 12? Maybe 12, but then
Yeah.
we kept it at
12.
12.
Okay, yeah. Gia's only 12 years old. She's a great basketball player.
She looks 15.
Yeah. This is now her first tournament.
Uh-huh.
I won't coach kids that don't compete.
Right, yeah. Absolutely,
Right?
Yeah.
So she's very athletic, and this is now, she's always playing basketball. Coach Henry works with her, and now it's just about getting her to start competing in bowling.
Yeah.
Because I guess as good as she is in basketball, it's pretty impressive. Just watching her pick up a bowling ball now.
If she's just now starting, can we get her out of that wrist brace?
Well, here's the thing. They put her into a heavier ball too quick.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right. So I recommended that. I think I let Henry use my brace a few months ago, just so she could keep her wrists locked in. So she now has to grow into the weight of her bowling ball. I teach the coaches, right?
Yeah.
Based on how I've failed with kids, I've learned the hard way, and I now want to teach Henry. I want to teach all the other coaches who are coming up. We've got 5 or 6 clinics coming up this summer for all kids. I'm also trying to get with the Pahrump guys, and we got a friend of ours who runs the pro shop in Pahrump, and he has a Specto. So we want to do 1 or 2 clinics in Pahrump because we have that whole bowling center
Yeah.
to be able to take advantage of that, where Kathy is just so slammed. So,
Yeah, definitely.
but I think Henry's jumping into the silver level coaching this next. What is it?
The next
this-
class, Bowl Expo's in July, right?
Yeah. No, it's this month.
No, that's the USBC one.
Oh,
Bowl
the-
Expo's not till June or July, I thought.
For bronze or silver level
Yeah.
coaching. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe. Who knows?
I know they're getting into it, so that's the important part of this.
The last 2 classes I was out of town, so I couldn't do them. I was actually going to do it just because.
So Liberty just switched over to two-handed about a month ago, and somebody asked, "Well, why would she switch over?" I'm like, I don't work with her, but she follows her brother.
Follows her
right?
brother, yeah.
So the thing is her footwork was so good one-handed that it's
Transition
time.
was still easy.
Absolutely. Not perfect yet, but again, she doesn't have coaching, so.
Yeah. She's Lily Howe's been amazing. Like, her improvement so far has been crazy.
You should see her golf.
I heard she outdrives you every time.
Yes. That's not hard, but still. She doesn't want to golf. She doesn't like playing out in out in the weather, but she's really stepped up the last few months, and she has to continue to step up because she's got some colleges looking at her, and
Is she a senior this year or junior?
she's a senior.
She
That's
really?
the hard part
Yeah.
is that she has to practice more.
I like that her dad bowls two-handed, and he learned how to bowl two-handed,
Yeah.
so he could help her.
Yeah. Again, anytime the parents, it's no different than Kevin, right? Kevin a year and a half ago didn't know how to coach.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he can sit on a live stream and talk about bowling. 2
Yeah.
years ago. It was about 2 years ago. Started working with Zeke when he was 10. But anytime that we can teach,
Devin just went 257 over there for Pepsi.
hold on, down there on a
Yeah.
high end?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
He's on 59 and 60 with Caleb and Kekoa and somebody else.
And that's on the same pattern,
Yeah, it's same pattern. He's gonna.
but 20-year-old lane surface difference.
Yeah.
So I think it's easier here because there's no track. Down there, lefties have an advantage, right, on a
Oh, yeah.
20-year-old surface.
Oh, absolutely.
But down here, the right-handers have a little bit more advantage because the ball's not going to pick up when they start moving in, playing 13, 14, 15 at the arrows, and they throw it right. It's not going to pick up sooner,
Yeah.
as soon as it would on a short or on a 20-year-old surface.
Yeah, I think this is one of the patterns where it's definitely a lefty favored.
Well, yeah, especially for Devin and Noah.
Noah,
Our two
Eddie
handed
sometimes
lefties.
when Eddie's consistent.
Yeah, good point.
When Eddie slows his feet down.
It's funny because last week he switched over to plastic. I'm like, what'd you switch over to plastic for? You have Devin and I said, you have Devin and Noah averaging over 200, and you're switching over to plastic. He was getting around the ball.
He was getting around the ball, and he was like 8 boards inside of Devin and Noah most of the time.
Yeah.
And I think he was just getting frustrated.
He's another one of those kids who'd like to get our hands on that a couple years ago before he, as he started off. And
But Eddie does everything. Like, he don't, like, as much as he wants to practice, he plays soccer. He's actually a really good soccer player. Play volleyball. And he bowled. And they go to Gorman, so they always got to do community service. So, like, the kid's busy. But, yeah, I would have loved to see him a couple years ago.
should I see if Mike wants to jump in?
Yeah, absolutely. Here,
You ready? Oh, no.
you want it on, Mike? There we go. I'm going to get parents that have no idea about bowling on here, too. All right, so we got Mike Howell, Lily Howell's dad. Lily, how long's Lily been bowling?
I'm sorry?
How long's Lily been bowling?
Oh, gosh. 4 years?
4 years? Okay.
4 years. Started as a sophomore.
She's a senior at Centennial.
Yep. Going to graduate this May.
Ready for that? You ready for it?
Yeah. You have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Yeah.
Excited for her.
That's good. What's she going to do after school, after high school?
Now, right now, she's looking at some colleges for bowling. She has a couple in mind. She still has to talk to a few more. And we'll see.
What school?
We'll see.
What school is she looking at?
Right now, it's a school in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma Christian?
Nazarene.
Oh, Nazarene. Okay.
Southern Nazarene.
Okay.
And there's one in Kansas City.
Ottawa?
Avila.
Oh, Avila. Okay.
Yep.
They got Ottawa over there too.
Yeah, there's a few others kind of on the Midwest there, a few on the East Coast that some
Yeah.
other girls are at, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It's time to start making a decision, though.
Yeah, it's the. My wife tried to convince my son to go to Arizona State, or stay in the Southwest region.
Yeah.
But he wanted to bowl for one, and then two, he knew better. He's like, if I go to Arizona State, I'm not going to graduate.
Uh-oh.
You know, I want to get caught up in partying and doing everything else. Like, just let me go to this little small Christian school in the middle of Indiana. There's like 1,200 kids total.
Yeah,
and then
I
I'll
mean,
graduate. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
every kid's different, but
They are. And the colleges she's looking at are, they're smaller universities, 2,000, 3,000 kids. So, but yeah, she wants to bowl. She's excited to have an opportunity to bowl in college and get a degree as well.
that's what she thinks she wants to do.
Business right now.
Business.
And then where it goes from there, we'll see.
Yeah.
What to start with.
So we were talking about you guys earlier and how, I've bowled forever, 30-something years or whatever, since I was a kid. And then my kids started bowling, and I refused to even try to go two-handed because I'm old and I might fall or something. But I just think it's awesome that you started bowling two-handed so you could bowl with her and learn with her and then maybe help her out later. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that was it. When she started bowling, she had never bowled before, and it just started out one-handed, her first year in high school, and she went through that first year, and then, we see all the, pros bowling two-hand. We see
Yeah.
the boys bowling two-hand, and
Some of our other girls
so when the season was over, just practicing bowling, I told myself, I said, I want to try this. This is interesting. And I started doing it, and then she saw it, and she's like, I want to do that too. And once she started doing it, it was kind of like a natural, and she was hooked.
So I was watching you guys practice last night. She's doing really, really good. Like I said, I told Phil I can always tell like what coach coaches each kid
Yeah.
because she looks like Vanessa and Kelsey did a few
Well,
years.
hey, that's
a few
good to
years
hear.
ago. Yeah, yeah. And they're both great college. Vanessa's one of the top 25 girls in the country. You
Yeah,
know?
that's
And it's just like
that's
watching,
nice to be put on that scale, But no, she's progressing nicely. There's little things here and there, and there's always something to work on. And now she's just fine tuning some things that's just making her more consistent and have a better role.
Yeah, looked really good yesterday. Just a little bit that I got to watch you guys. This is the fun part. We were talking about the little ones down there on lane 1 and 2.
Oh, it's
Four,
cool.
four and 5-year-olds. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool watching them.
That's the future. We'll be here bowling senior leagues in 10 years, and these will be the kids that are running the house.
Like I said, when we started bowling, and then we started, with the Junior Gold League, we didn't realize how big youth bowling really was. Bigger than I thought it was, and I think it's just becoming bigger. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
But, and you got it. I mean, you look at it, and that's thanks to the Belmos and the Kyle Troops, the cooler two-handed guys, the younger guys, the Simos. But
Yeah.
then bowling, and for me, my kid always played football. They did jiu-jitsu and all this other stuff. So they didn't start bowling until 3.5 years ago. Like my oldest one saw junior year is when they started like really bowling, getting coaching and stuff. But all the money I spent, all them other sports, I got nothing back from it, other than a medal, a ribbon,
Of course.
a sword from a martial arts event or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Bowling is the only youth sport where you get your money. I mean, you don't get your money back, but you get money. And it goes into scholarship fund, obviously, we know that.
Yes.
But it's the only sport you get something back in other than a ribbon or a medal.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've
most
been
of us-
noticing that.
Like, hopefully these young kids stick with it, and they're going to have, $100,000. I mean, if you look at, we got Caitlin Abaganya. I can't even imagine what her smart account looks like.
Oh, yeah. The
Caitlin wins
the smart
everything.
account thing is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a principal in the school district, and just seeing the opportunities that these kids have to go to college and to get bowling scholarships
Yeah.
versus, obviously there's other sports in schools where a very low percentage of those kids in that particular sport get scholarships.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at bowling teams, there's a lot of kids from bowling teams that are going to college
Yeah.
and getting scholarships.
Yeah.
So that's
And they said, well, there's Title IX, so the boys can't get full rides because of Title IX, so girls can get full rides. But, it is what it is. It's cool. But you got kids that probably never thought about going to college, but they bowl a lot. So, okay, so now you got $45,000, $50,000 in your smart account. Can't let it go to waste.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Let's go give college a shot.
Let's give it a shot.
go to trade school. I mean, in smart pace trade schools, all that other stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I wish I'd have known sooner because I've bowled all my life, and me and my wife used to bowl a lot of leagues, and then we just kind of
Okay.
stopped once the kids started doing other sports, and so they never really bowled leagues until 3 years ago. I wish I'd have known
Oh yeah.
how much money was.
If I would have known this would have started with Lily a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Like I
Long
said,
time
I'd have
ago.
started with them littles over there. Those little
Yep.
4 and 5-year-olds on lane 1.
Well, it's interesting, yeah, because when Lily was kindergarten, I think I was a golfer. I'm a golfer, and so she started golfing. So that's what that age that we see over there. That's what she was doing.
Nice.
She was a junior golfer up until about middle school, and then got a little burnt out on that. Went to high school, wanted to do something else, and that's where this. Hey, I want to try bowling.
I can see getting burnt out of golf in Vegas. I love golfing, but playing in July, practicing,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, yeah.
She won't be afraid to tell you.
The bowling alley's got air conditioning.
She does not miss because she golfed in high school, so the girl season was in the fall. And,
So it's still in October. It's still 100 degrees out.
I mean, August, September, October. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 105, and they have to walk. They have to push their own carts. And yeah, she will not be afraid to tell you right now. She's glad that's over.
That's the good thing about bowling. It's an air-conditioned bowling alley.
Absolutely.
And in the wintertime, it's heated.
Practice in it and compete in it.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. She's going to be – hopefully she goes where she wants to go.
Yeah, she will. She will. It's going to be exciting. Little nerve-wracking because she'll be, definitely halfway across the country. So
That's the hard part. So, and especially with, like, if she's bowling. Like, so for my son, this is his freshman year, bowling in college starts in August. Like, September, we'll say September. So that's
yeah, I
when
think
school,
September-ish, yeah.
So, like, they start unofficially in August. The coach doesn't go, but the kids start getting together in August and practicing themselves. Then
Yep.
come September, when the season officially starts, they start. He just got done 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
It's
we're
straight
talking
through.
It's almost the whole school year.
It is.
Because he's like, I can't come home for spring break because we have a tournament. And I was like, well, have fun. Good luck.
Yeah, over the holiday times, and
But-
it'll be a different beast.
At the same time, it kind of makes things easier for them in a way because that first year of college, they always want to come home. They always want to be homesick. Like, can I come home for a weekend? It's a 3-day,
Yeah.
Like, oh, don't you have a tournament? And then we can fly up on weekends,
Correct.
Catch a kid, go to Indiana or whatever.
Correct.
And that kind of eases it for them. But, yeah, I think being a student athlete definitely helps them in college. Like,
Oh, it does.
with the
I mean,
homesickness because, yeah. I mean, my son, he still calls like, can I come home for the weekend? Like, no, you can't come home
of
for
course,
the weekend.
There's always going to be a little bit of that.
But
But yeah, you get team sports. I played sports in college, and so it was a great experience. You meet a lot of new people, develop great friends, still get to play sports. So it just keeps you occupied.
Yeah.
Something else to do.
it keeps you motivated. You got to get the grades up.
Oh yeah, I remember that
And
too.
that's and that's like one of the good things like we figured out from the smaller schools perspective, because my son's coach, he's like, hey man, you missed an assignment, or why didn't you go to class today, or you go to the bigger colleges, they don't care.
Yeah, that's just one more.
It's a money grab.
It's one more thumb on you.
Yeah.
Kind of
So,
keep you in check.
like, why are you not turning in work?
Correct.
But not saying that Lily would be like that, but.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate the
Cool,
talk.
yeah,
I'm gonna
appreciate
go.
you.
I'm gonna go.
Coach her up.
I'm gonna go coach her up some more.
All right, cool.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for the time, and thanks for everything you guys do. It's awesome.
Of course. Get the wobble.
Now it's Matt's turn.
Yeah. Oh, the bolt's out. Oh, that's fine. We're good. That's fine.
Keep it down there.
Yeah. There we go. Good. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right. So we got Matt Lilly here with us now. His girls, two of them, right?
Yep, they're on lanes Lane 10 today.
Yeah, actually, I got him on right now. Yeah. So Matt does a lot with LVYBT. He's one of our sponsors. He does our graphics. What else? Our merch. I'm not saying graphics. Our merch. We got mugs, shirts, hats, all that good stuff that we sell on the YBT site. But can't ever write too much because it's not YBT's tournament. So, so real quick, how long the girls been bowling?
About 3 years now.
3 years. What?
Yeah. Our son bowled for 10 plus years, and then when he aged out, that's when they decided that they wanted to start bowling. So we've
Mr.
been
6'9" over here. I gotta tilt the camera.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah. 6'7", it's close. But so we've been coming to the bowling alley now every Saturday for the better part of 12 years, 13
Jeez.
years.
Man, might as well just open one. That's what I'm looking to do. I have to win the lotto though, the way it is in Vegas.
Got at least 3 or 4 years left with the youngest stone over there. So
Yeah, I say I've only got 2 years left with mine, but I'm sure I'll be here helping out somewhere somehow. Like, what else am I gonna do? My kids are gone.
exactly.
So, girls, how old are they?
So Kaya will be 18 next month.
She's a
and
senior.
She's senior, so she graduates this year.
Where's she go to school at?
Centennial High School.
Oh, okay.
So, they won state championship 2 years ago. The second place this last year. So
Second place this year.
Yep.
Who won first? Was it Shadow?
no, it's I'm blanking on Desert Oasis.
No, Dio. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So one senior and then.
And then the freshman at Centennial as well. So she's 14, going on 15 this month.
Look at the colleges yet?
Starting to. Starting to.
Yeah. That's always a good time. What about your son? Did he go to college, or is he at Vegas, or is he?
No, he's in the Navy.
Oh, he's in the Navy. Oh.
So yeah, he graduated from Centennial 2021. He went into U.S. Navy, so it's on the USS Theodore Roosevelt, and they are out there in the South China Sea. They're between ports,
Taiwan
between
and-
Singapore. He just left
Yeah.
Singapore. They're going to Thailand. So
That's cool. He gets to see the world.
yeah,
I did it. I grew up in the military, and then I did 20 years. So it's a lifestyle. It's fun.
yeah. He enjoys
At times
it.
it is.
He enjoys it. So
That's cool. How's Mama feel about him being gone and in those areas all the time?
It's always stressful when you don't hear from them for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
They're in OPSEC and they're got everything turned off, and
Yeah.
you get an email here and there, and that's about it.
I'm alive. Everything's good. Tell everybody I said hi, kind of deal. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Definitely times have changed though. I mean, it's a little. I mean, I guess for the Navy, it's a little different there in certain areas where But when I would deploy, my first couple deployments, it was like no contact, and then as technology improved, was able to FaceTime and Skype and all that.
yeah.
But anyway, so let's get back to these kids. Let me see.
So the lanes are dry on that back end, that's for sure today.
Yeah, we're playing on same thing we shot last week in the tournament
Yeah.
and league. So it's 37 feet boardwalk, I believe, V2. So it's gonna be tough for a lot of these kids. I like the advantage that some of the girls are gonna have just because they're lower rev. Most of them, for the most part, are gonna be one-handed.
Yeah.
Whereas you got these two-handed kids with the high revs. The guys, for the most part, they're struggling.
Yeah.
But-
Girls seem to be struggling with right side spares. The ball just keeps
Yeah.
coming back too hard on them.
Yeah,
So
that's gonna happen. That's where the ball speed's gonna come into play.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a state tournament. It's fine. It's
They're having
It's
fun.
good to see this many people though, because there's a lot of kids that I don't recognize, and I'm sure they're coming from Reno and Carson City, or I think those are the only two towns other than Vegas and Nevada, right?
Well,
I mean,
usually at these you get a lot of kids that come from Elko.
From
which
where?
is Elko, up in northern Nevada.
oh,
So they usually have a pretty strong contingent of almost 20 kids that'll show up. So,
okay.
like I said, we've been doing these I've been coming to these for a better part of 12, 13 years now, both north and south, and it's interesting to see. You get a lot of the northern Nevada travels down to Vegas for these. You don't get as many southern Nevada that travels up for them.
Because last year was Carson City.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went. My son was like, "Are we going to this one?" I said, "Absolutely not." I'll go to Reno just because I can go,
Yeah.
you know, gamble a little bit here and there. But I said, and they can bowl the stadium a lot of times.
Yeah.
But just hit me like, oh, it's in Carson City. I'm like, nope. There's better places to go. No offense.
I think that Carson City, I don't know if they were, last time we bowled there was probably about 4 or 5 years ago in the state, and they still had wood lanes.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, that might be worth a trip to go see that.
Yeah.
Some of these kids have never seen it.
Yeah, they still had the
I mean,
real
that's how
wood.
I started bowling, was on wood lanes.
Yep, exactly, yeah.
Let's see. Got Kalen up now. Let's see.
Yeah, girls seem to bowl. Their team did okay, so I think they were. See, Caden was right at her average. Kaya was, I think, a pin or 2 over. Kaylin was about 10 over, and I think Lily was about 5 under. So they were probably pretty even.
Oh, this is team, huh?
Yeah.
I'm so confused. There's 3 different things going on.
They got team and singles doubles. Yeah. Yeah, so they're doing team right now. Then they're doing singles doubles at 1 p.m.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we were supposed to do team at 5, but they canceled that, so we're doing that tomorrow.
Yeah. That's what I heard. They only had like a couple of teams signed up, so they didn't stop. They stopped
Yeah.
doing it.
So what they did though, they moved our squad. They moved our kids up to 9 o'clock. Well, my other 2 kids, 2 of the kids on the team weren't showing up until lunchtime. You know, for the second squad. And I was like, they can't make it. They live, far away. So they moved us to tomorrow, which is cool because that means I can get out of the bowling alley before 7 o'clock tonight. You know,
That's true. Yeah.
spend 12 hours in the bowling alley. But
Yeah, we're doing 9 and 1, and then I think Kaya's doing Pepsi tomorrow at 9. So
you guys going to junior gold this year? Or?
no,
No. Lucky.
no.
This will be our 3rd year in a row going. I think it might be our last.
Where's it at this year?
Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah. I'm thinking this might be our last year. You know, talking to college coaches, they're like, you're wasting your money if you keep coming back every year, unless you're winning it every year.
Yeah.
You know, but he's like, we know who your kids are, especially with the social media and everything now. He goes, come to junior gold once, get the experience. You know, we'll talk to your kids, we'll see your kids. They can go to the college fairs, talk to coaches, but if there's anything more than once, he goes, unless you're winning the tournament, it's really not a whole.
Yeah, because you got to commit to a week.
Yeah, it's a week.
Even if you don't make it that far, you're
you're still there a week.
You got to plan just in case.
Because I think we're leaving like on a Thursday, and we don't get back till the following Sunday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that'll be our last one.
We did it one time with my son in Buffalo. We went to Buffalo, so it wasn't too bad. Toronto was right there, so we were able to see Niagara Falls and some of that stuff. So
Yeah, I wasn't keen on the Detroit thing, but it is what it is. I've been to worse places, I guess. So.
yeah, the one we were most excited about was going to come here, 2020.
Yeah,
But,
COVID.
that
COVID
didn't
killed
happen.
it. And now nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to host it.
Yeah.
We got the centers, but nobody wants to host it. I think actually that's just more corporate decision than anything.
Yeah, it's a challenge right now in town with these bowling centers. You've got construction going on here. Texas Station doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
Red Rock doesn't do leagues. Suncoast has done some construction stuff, so they were limited for a while. So it's been a challenge.
Yeah, Suncoast and Santa Fe, I think, is the best places in town to bowl for kids as far as like participation wise.
Yeah.
I know Preston and Todd Adams down at Sunset have a lot going on with their kids. But yeah, as far as like leagues though, it's like.
I know Samstown used to be pretty good for youth, but I don't know if they, I don't know if
forget
they
about
still
Sam.
are.
I think they still have a youth league up there. I know they used to have that free after school program.
Oh, okay.
I know Dave Allen used to go there and help. He would coach. It was volunteer his time coaching over there with the after school kids. And I think we actually picked up a couple kids from that program that came over to LVYBT and to bowl our junior gold league too. So we got Lily up here. Let's see what these little kids are doing over here. Let's see.
Your kids start bowling young?
No, I mean, they bowl, but we didn't start actually learning how to bowl because we were in Germany, and my son, he liked to bowl, but he would just bowl recreationally, and I bowled leagues. He didn't want old enough to bowl any leagues at the time. Then we came to Vegas, and got into football, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, all that stuff, and martial arts and stuff. So we never got to bowling. And then his junior year, he was playing football. His junior year, he kind of hurt his back a little bit, and he's like, "I'm not going back." So, what do you mean not going back? I'm not going back to play. He's like, "You better do something." And then one day he's like, "I want to go bowling." So he's like, "Can I borrow, one of your bowling balls and some shoes or whatever?" So he took stuff, and then we got connected with Dave Allen as a coach, and then moved over to Phil Platko, and now he's in college. So in 3 years he did all that. I mean,
That's quick, yeah. That's quick.
but yeah, as a little one, he loved to bowl. He had a little 4-6 pound or a little 6-pound ball.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun to watch them progress. I mean, these two started much later, but my son started around 10, and to watch them go all the way through was always fun.
Yeah, watching the littles is my favorite. But
When it was,
it's like watching a kid's t-ball game sometimes. You ever going to a kid's t-ball game where
Yeah.
everybody just goes straight to the ball? Like these kids they have so much fun when they're bowling.
yeah, the energy and excitement around throwing your first 300 series,
Yeah. But in like 4 years after when
Yeah.
they're like 12, they're going to throw their first 300 game, which
Yeah.
is even crazier. Like it was unheard of back,
Yeah.
But these kids are so talented and they get great coaching and just, technology itself. And
Coaching
bowling
and
is-
equipment.
Yeah, equipment. Yeah. All right.
Good.
Yeah. Good. All right, man. Cool. Appreciate you sitting with
Thanks
us.
for the
I'm gonna-
time.
Yep. Take a break. We'll just put the camera on the kids for a little while. Let me go check out my son, see how he's doing. hear me? You there? Can you hear? Huh. I guess we don't need to talk.
I still don't hear you. Can you hear me? Why you have me out like that?
Better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got
All
you.
right, cool. All right. All right, cool. So we're back. Got James Higgins over here, his boy Ivan Higgins, and his daughter Jayla Higgins.
Yes.
Are bowling in front of us here on 7 and 8. So, yeah. So Ivan just threw that, missed a spare. So, how old's Jayla?
14.
14, and Ivan is.
He's 11, almost 12. Birthday's next month.
So she's a freshman in high school, or
Next year.
next year? Okay, where's she gonna go?
We're homeschools,
Oh, okay, cool.
but we're looking at putting her on the bowling team for Mojave, I think.
Okay.
We were looking at Centennial, but if you switch zones, you got to wait a year before you
Yeah.
can do sports.
Even if she hasn't played yet?
Yeah, because we're zoned for a different district.
For different. Okay. I thought that was only if they'd actually participated or played in that sport.
Be a good question to double check on, because we would definitely like to get her over in Centennial.
Jared Barker says, and his dad's AD, I believe, at Shadow Ridge. You might want to ask him.
Okay.
Something to ask, something to find out. How long have they been bowling?
I want to say this is year 4, year 3.
Year 3. Bowling. How long have they been working with Brad? I know they're both Brad's kids.
About 2.5. We
Okay.
started with him pretty early on.
Okay.
Yeah, we started. He does the little clinic type thing on Saturday mornings, and we started them there, and then started doing lessons.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's cool. Good. What else we got? So Ivan won last weekend.
Yeah,
So that's his second YBT win, right?
it is.
Nice. Yeah, Brad's got him good fundamentals on these kids.
Yeah, they've come quite a long way. They've got some things we're trying to harp on them about, but overall they're still doing great.
I was talking to him this morning. Well, you were there. And he's like, "Oh, it's going to be this pattern." I was like, "What are you worried about? Let's not worry about the pattern. Let's just worry about bowling." You guys, because as they get older, that's going to be the first thing. And we all know we do the same thing. Walk in, it's like, "Oh, it's boardwalk. Oh, it's great wall." Like,
Right.
you talk yourself out of the game already before you even start.
Good
Good shot.
Good shot.
So you don't want to start them that early, worried about patterns.
Yeah. I've never I've had like one coaching session in my whole life, and I just, I'm a field bowler, and so like, these kids, they're so worried about the pattern. I'm like, just get up there and see what's happening.
Just see what it does first. Don't even worry about the. So how long do you think it'll be before they beat you on a regular basis?
Oh, on a regular basis? Next year?
Think so?
I mean, when I go practice with them, Jayla especially, she gives me a run for my money. Like, we kind of compete against each other pretty hard. But they both beat me, I think, at least twice now.
Nice. I don't even bowl with my kids. I refuse.
Yeah, something tells me I'll get to that point.
I'll go practice with them, but
Rachel here is actually doing pretty good. She started with Coach Brad last year.
who's that?
Rachel, right here.
Oh, okay.
She was a last-minute addition to the team because Zach Miller fell out. He had some prior engagements that they forgot about when they scheduled with us. So she filled in, and like she's come a long way really fast.
Yeah, that's something me and Kevin always talk about, how good these kids get so fast. Like, I bowled all my life. I never carried a 200 average, so I was an adult pretty much,
Right.
And these kids, carrying 190, 200 averages, 180, but that's on the sport shot because they don't bowl on house shots.
Yeah.
So I mean, they bowl these sport shots, and they're so good and so talented. They get so good so fast, and sometimes I think it handicaps them a little bit because they expect they expect 220, 230 games every single game.
Right, and this pattern is very humbling. I bowled on a similar one a couple weeks ago. It's a challenge.
Oh yeah, it is. I think this is one of the patterns. Like, so they always say that lefties have advantage here, or such and such. I think this pattern kind of does favor the lefties. The shorter patterns a lot of times do. It's a little bit higher volume, so it's going to hold for them a little more. Or these, out of 8 kids on the lane, you'll have one lefty, so he's got the whole thing to himself.
Right.
Some days it's beneficial, and there's other times, which I think is more often than not, I think the lefties don't have an advantage. A lot of people always say it. I mean, if you watched the Masters this last week, that was terrible. Like, that whole left side was just, I think 4 people that made the cut were lefties. I was telling Phil, I was like, or one of the other parents, I think this pattern favors the girls more than it does the boys because of rev rate mainly.
Yeah,
a lot of the girls don't have that rev rate that some of the boys do.
I've noticed the two-handers tend to struggle on this a lot
Yeah.
too.
But I think it's extremely playable, but a lot of them, they get around the ball so much that it's just, they can't really play this pattern when they get around it as much as they do.
Yeah.
There's not many kids, these younger kids that are starting out two-handers, you can go up the back of the ball like they should on something like this, But give them 6 months to a year and they'll have it figured out. And
Yeah.
I mean, how many kids have you seen throw 300 games at 12, 13, 14, 15 years old?
For sure.
That's crazy. Which I'm sure we'll see your kids here soon doing it.
Yeah, they're far better than I was at their age.
Yeah, I said with Ivan, last week before the tournament, when we talk about the pattern again, and I was like, just set a goal, man. You want to average 200. You want to shoot 250 one game. Yeah. Don't sit here and be like, oh, this pattern's going to play rough, and I don't know if I'm going to score well. I'm like, no, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Ivan's so hard on himself by default. Like, I used to get mad as a kid, but he's so tough on himself. He just wants to do good every time, and he struggles to accept that sometimes it's hard.
It's not always a bad thing, though. I mean,
and then we got to get his sister the other direction. She's just like, it's whatever.
It's funny because, like you said, if you got the family of bowlers and you got 2 kids, one kid's going to be the super competitive, like you said, super hard on yourself, and the other one just like, Yeah, it's just bowling. You know, they don't want to bowl bad, but you know, it's a different mentality, different attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, my kids are like that. One's super competitive and super passionate about it. The other one's just like, yeah. So this girl, Gia, is that her name?
Yes.
I didn't know she was 12 years old. I thought she was probably 15.
Yeah, she definitely looks like she's got a couple extra years. She bowls really well. I'm surprised she didn't move up to the pin crushers with my kids this year. She's still in the in-betweeners.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, should be all right. She'll be ready for next year.
Oh, yeah.
And so I honestly, probably next year or the year after that, you guys will have them in the Junior Gold League.
Yeah, we set the goal of averaging 150, which they're pretty close to. You know, they're just kind of set back by the earlier part of the season. They can't, like, they're bowling closer to 150, you know, every week, but just, you know, the current average, it's harder to get up all the way there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're aiming at junior gold. So.
I mean, best way to get better is bowl bets, but you know, tougher competition, right?
Oh, for sure. Jayla likes competition. She definitely bowls better when she's got a group of kids with her that are pushing her.
Yeah, it's so. One of the kids on the other side, he's bowling up there for, I believe he's bowling Pepsi, or he might just be on the higher side. He's one of the kids that averages 190, 180, and in the 7th or 8th frame, he had an 87. But he's bowling with kids he doesn't know, for one, and then the talent level's a little, you know, it's all over the place. There's some younger kids bowling on this pair, and you know, it seems like, I don't want to say bowl up to your competition, but he's bowling. I think he's getting frustrated and he's letting that bother him, and then he's just like, it's more of a whatever thing, and he's bowling at their pace, and now he's not having fun with it. But
yeah,
you know. But I think it's always the case. If you bowl better competition, you're gonna bowl better.
Yeah, Ivan's he also there's like a group of kids, Jake Van Ryn and some of the other kids. He has just like a friendly competition with every week. And if he ends up on the same pair as them, he tends to bowl better, and his attitude is much better.
So yeah, my kids used to always want to go do all the tournaments that we do. They always, I want to be paired with this person. I want to be paired with always want to be paired with their friends.
Right.
I was like, that's cool once in a while, but sometimes you got to switch it up. Like, you get to the point where you and your friends start messing around, joking around, and all of a sudden it's the 9th frame, and you realize that you're not where you should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one thing I had to pull my kids away from. Like, hey, quit bowling with the same person every time, because a lot of times you guys get lost in the mix and start having too much fun.
Yeah. Jayla had a friend, and they moved her up. She had just started bowling last year. They tried to move her up to.
Did you see that?
I didn't. I couldn't see her.
Picked up the big 4. That was nice.
Okay. That's one I haven't done yet.
Anyway, sorry.
Lost my train of thought. There was the young girl that she was bowling with. They were friends, but she was too inexperienced, and then they tried to move her up just so she could keep bowling with Jayla. And then she lost interest because she just wasn't ready for that
winning.
next step. And then, of course, they changed the format this year for pin crushers, so it's based on your scores. So with her being the lower score, she was on the opposite end of the lanes. And so yeah, she ended up falling off of bowling real fast this year.
That's unfortunate. These kids, like I said, they get so good so fast. There's so many different avenues and so many different things that make them better. You know, I mean, start with the coaching. You got. You know, we didn't have this many coaches available when I was bowling. I don't think I even had a bowling coach. I might have had some random dude that was really good that might have averaged 200 back in the day that he would show me things, but I never really had a bowling coach.
Yeah.
And the availability of coaches in town. So you got ball technology. You got people like Kathy that take care of these kids and, you know, give them the opportunities to bowl when it's tough, because not every house has open bowling, but she tries to accommodate them.
Right.
But sometimes it can be defeating. But like I said, I think it's just. Ooh, missed that barely.
Yeah, talking about Kathy, she's so great with the kids. She does so much. And, so many kids, I feel like there's so many more kids bowling today because she's, putting out money just for them to do the team event.
Yeah.
And so either they now have the money to do the doubles and singles, or if nothing else, they get a free shot at some scholarship money.
Yeah, and that's Kathy. So it was only our third year bowling with Kathy, and from day one, I mean, she's been awesome. Kathy, and you said, and some of the other bowling center managers, I think Kathy's probably to me obviously she's best in my eyes. She's my favorite, but she just does so much. She gives so much money. I mean, you look at the YBT tournaments, and every kid gets paid something out of it.
Right.
Even if you're last place, you might get 20 or 40 bucks, or whatever it is. But she gives out like all the money. I mean, obviously that LVYBT, that organization, runs off as a nonprofit anyway. So you're basically paying your lineage, and then Kathy gives all the rest of it back, and sometimes even more.
Yeah, and then I think last year was the first year she did it. There was like a state tournament or something that didn't happen, so she put together one here at Santa Fe.
Yeah. She's done that. I've seen her do that. And what else she's done too. 2 seasons ago. I don't know if you remember that. She's like, I have $25,000 to give away that came from USBC. And so, like, she had a little tournament that day during leagues. Everybody that showed up for league, it was in the tournament. And we ended up getting from the 4 and 5, the younger kids, all the way up. Like, some of the kids won $1,000, $2,000, a couple $100 bucks. But everybody walked out with smart money. But, yeah, she ended up having like 20 grand or something like that to give away. And so everybody got smart money added to their account.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's not worried about trying to make a ton of money for the bowling alley. Like, she wants the kids to.
Don't say that too loud. Stations might shut us down. They're already taking stuff away from us.
Hey, I'm glad they approved the new lanes.
Yeah, new services, new pin setters.
It should be done next month and back up to full.
Yeah.
Full house.
That's what's scary though. It's like they put so much money into these lanes and everything else. It's like, how long are you going to keep letting us bowl leagues and stuff before you start turning us into Red Rock, to where there's no more leagues? It's like they just put a couple.
They don't do any leagues at Red Rock?
Red Rock has a morning league, I believe. A couple senior leagues in the morning, I think, and that's it. Other than that, it's all open bowling.
Oh, because we've been down there a few times for practice when we can't do it here. And, they're always like, oh, yeah, no league. But, like, go, like, early or something. So we're like, oh, okay. I didn't realize they had almost no leagues.
Yeah, just a couple senior leagues, I believe, or morning leagues. I don't know if they're senior or not, but yeah, just morning leagues. And Mike up there at Red Rock used to run a really good program. And as far as like, he had a lot of leagues, always had a full house, but COVID took over and they saw how much money they can make off Cosmic, I guess. And
I mean, at $10 a game, they better be making profit.
Yeah, man.
We were a little behind in the day. We tried to practice a few weeks ago, and they were already in Cosmic, and yeah, so we're like, oh, what's the bowler discount? And they're like, oh, a couple dollars off a game, so it'll be $8 a game. And we were like, we can practice another day.
Yeah, $100 to bowl 3 or 4 games.
Yeah,
with the family. And not too bad. Red Rock used to be one of my favorite places to bowl.
I mean, I love the house.
Yeah.
Shayla really likes to play on their house pattern.
I always talk about Brad as a coach. Fundamentals. His kids always have fundamentals.
Yeah.
I was telling Phil, I can tell who coaches what kids. I always see Brad's kids because their setup is always exactly the same, and they post every shot until the ball's through the pins.
Yep, he is. He'll bust out his book and be like, "This is how we should be looking. This is what we're aiming for." And then, like you said, all the kids will adopt it and do their best to stick with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it helps a lot instead of trying to coach a kid around some of the things I've seen some of the kids, the way they throw their shot. I'm just like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I mean, they make it work. There was a young kid over here on 5 and 6, and he has no follow through, but he learned how to just adjust and move and make it work. He's hitting his spares. He's getting it in the pocket.
Yeah, I think so. We got some great coaches here in Vegas. Some of the best. You got Phil, you got Dave, you got Brad, Gary Otis, Eric Hatchett coaches kids now. Eric Hatchett is really good. I think at some point, it's gonna be cool 10, 15 years down the road when some of these kids are coaches. You know what I mean? And they'll be helping out. And see how much they take of what they learn from these guys and apply that to their coaching. I know my son talks about, yeah, I might help coach a little bit here and there, but I think that's more just showing up to league, not like as a side gig or not, just show up to league and coach kids.
Yeah, I've offered advice to other kids here and there where I see something that could really help them, and I don't know. Sometimes I notice they try it for a little bit or they don't. I stop, I still tell my kids things, but I don't try and harp on it too much, because I'm dad. I don't know anything.
Exactly. You're dad. You're stupid, pretty much. Until you got coach attached to your name.
Yeah.
I'd help my kids with football for a long time, and then once I started coaching, it was like, oh, okay, now I'll listen to you. Well, just because I said just because my name changed.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to some of the kids too out here. As long as I know if they're not being coached by one of these guys here, I'll say something. I'll give them a little bit of advice if I can. But if there's one of these guys' kids, I'll never say anything to them because I don't know what these coaches are telling their kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had an issue like kind of early on with especially Jayla, because they're working with Brad, and then like one of the other coaches would be like, all right, try this during league, and she would get frustrated because she's trying to listen to coach.
Because it contradicts.
And then listen to coach.
Yeah.
And listen to coach. So, but
you see it, and like I said, not everybody coaches different. I don't think Brad has any two-handers.
No, I don't think. I think he would be willing to work with them, but he's not big on two-handed bowling. And I've goofed around with it just on practice, trying to be silly with the kids or whatever.
Yeah.
I cannot.
I can't do it now. Plus, I'm too old and fat. My back starts hurting. All that good stuff. So, I'll just stick to the old way, traditional, I guess you could say.
Yep.
It's funny. I've been the last year and a half. I've been struggling with ball motion and stuff like that. And just as I've gotten older, things have gotten not as strong as I used to be, I guess. So now I'm like, don't throw in like a full roller almost, basically, is what it was. So I went yesterday and just drilled up a ball, just a junk ball, just to mess with and see if it works. So I flipped my layout, pretty much 180, and do it like I normally do. And now as a full roller, that ball looks like it did when I was 25. I'm pretty excited about that. Nothing like a big change right before we bowl in the Open in a couple weeks, though. See how that helps me out any.
That's one of the things I was talking about that we try and get him to work on. He leans back. He puts a lot of weight on his
that
right leg,
uh-huh.
and it causes him to just twist his whole body to the right. I'm not even sure why he started doing it. It's just like sometimes he does it, sometimes he doesn't.
We're talking about you.
Yeah, we're talking about you on the stream for the whole internet to see.
Come here.
Come say hi.
Jump right here. Come right here.
Yeah,
Right in the middle.
Jayla, over here in the middle.
This is Ms. Jayla Higgins. Say hi.
Hi. I literally don't know what's going on here.
It's the stream on TV.
Oh.
The family's watching.
Yeah, people
Sarah
are
Beth
watching.
might be watching. We got friends and family all
What
over.
is this? I
Somebody somewhere likes you. Let's see if anybody's in the chat. See if anybody says hi.
like everywhere that likes me.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Most people just like me. Okay, bye.
All right.
Not to have too big of a head or anything, you know.
Everybody loves me.
I'm sure my phone's gonna go off about them laughing at her, her comments.
Let's see. Do we even got viewers? Let's see where we're at. Two viewers right now. Figure maybe not as many because me and Kevin aren't showing our faces the whole time. You know.
They come to see your beautiful face.
Yeah, as I said, we're easy on the eyes. Well, all right, man, cool. You go back to watching, helping your kids. I'm gonna see if I can't find another parent.
Appreciate
Check on
it.
my kid first, real quick, and then I'll come back.
He's got a nice shot, but without a spare ball, right-sided spares are, you know.
Okay. I just, again, I'm sure you did. I just wanted to check. It drives me crazy because I see it. I'm just like,
I know. You know, with a plastic spare ball, that would have been a spare earlier. She missed the 610, and that hooked away, and that would have been a spare.
doing the interviewing now, huh, brother?
No, sir.
I thought you were doing all the interviewing.
You would not catch me.
You sound like you.
All I gotta do is hit that. This is where the greatest speakers are.
74%.
Yeah, that's the right person. I the one messed it up, though.
I might do.
You get it now.
It's our first year.
Oh, yes. Understand. That'll work.
Parents know. Parents know.
Okay.
So, you know, you go down this road, you go in the middle of the whole set.
Happy girl.
You're going to be out.
Goodbye, Rachel.
It's not a cheap. No, I know. But once you have them, you can use it. Yeah. That's what
So that's a wrap on first squad, 9 a.m. teams double singles, and Pepsi will be back here in a little bit for the 1 o'clock squad.